The huge areas of the world that have never been looked at by archaeology at all. Or if looked at by archaeology, looked at only minimally. Of course, the most important are the flooded continental shelves. And that's why Santa and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world.
Nestled at the westernmost edge of the Saurashtra Peninsula in what is now the state of Gujarat, India, the ancient city of Dwarka offers a narrative that is as rich in spirituality and mythology as it is in historical urban development.
The calculation is that 27 million square kilometers that was above water during the Ice Age is underwater now.
The city's strategic positioning near the confluence of the Gomati River and the Arabian Sea played a pivotal role not just in safeguarding it from potential invaders, but also in bolstering maritime trade and fostering connections with other parts of the ancient world. This geographical advantage, coupled with the city being enveloped by water on all sides, either as a peninsula or a series of islands, crafted a natural fortress that was a challenge for any adversary to overcome.
Most of human civilization has been organized around water, right? And as the water levels change, some of those ancient cities could be completely covered.
We did a lot of diving in southern India, so it was great for her to be able to talk in their own language to Tamil fishermen and Tamil divers and see if they'd seen any weird stuff underwater, which they certainly had.
Moreover, the Gomati River's proximity not only enhanced the city's scenic beauty, but also served as a crucial lifeline for its residents. Dwarka's urban landscape, as depicted in ancient texts, was nothing short of architectural grandeur. The city boasted of meticulously planned streets, a state-of-the-art drainage system, and formidable fortifications, all of which were divided into well-defined sectors for residential, commercial, and administrative purposes.
We know that it's been underwater for about 6,000 or 7,000 years, but the question is, how long before that was it made? How long did it stand there above water?
This level of urban planning and civil engineering sophistication showcases an advanced understanding of city management and infrastructure development, making Dwarka a marvel in ancient urban planning. The city's defensive structures, including a series of gates and fortifications, underscored the thoughtful defensive strategy employed in its construction. These were not merely architectural feats, but were strategically designed to regulate access and provide unwavering protection against invasions. Such architectural and strategic prowess points to a high degree of sophistication and indicates that Dwarka was a city that blended beauty with brains, making it a formidable entity in the ancient world.
You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical in diving on an underwater city.
Diving into the depths off the coast of modern-day Dwarka in Gujarat, India, archaeologists have embarked on marine explorations that have significantly advanced our understanding of the ancient city's grandeur and the sophisticated civilization that once flourished there. These underwater explorations have brought to light submerged structures, stone foundations, walls, pillars, and steps that many believe were part of the legendary Dwarka, a city of immense importance in Hindu scriptures. The discovery of such elaborate underwater architecture points towards the advanced engineering and construction techniques of the time, hinting at a society that was far ahead of its contemporaries in terms of urban planning and infrastructure development. The use of modern technology, including sonar scanning, diving explorations, and underwater photography, has been instrumental in mapping out the submerged city, providing us with a clearer picture of its complexity and the scale at which it operated. But the revelations don't stop at structures. A plethora of artifacts unearthed both from the seabed and land excavations near Dwarka tell tales of a culturally rich and economically prosperous society. The remnants of well-laid streets and an elaborate drainage system underscore a high degree of urban planning, indicative of a society that valued organization, environmental health, and the well-being of its citizens. Moreover, the variety of materials discovered suggests Dwarka was a bustling hub of trade and cultural exchange, maintaining connections with other civilizations of its time. This diversity not only showcases the city's economic vitality, but also its cultural openness and dynamism. But perhaps what's most fascinating is the chronological evidence unearthed through radiocarbon dating.
We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. The largely and correctly discredited notion of an Aryan invasion of India needs to be abandoned.
Some artifacts and structural components of the submerged city have been dated back to the 2nd millennium BCE, aligning Dwarka's timeline with that of Lord Krishna, as described in traditional beliefs and ancient texts. This dating not only cements Dwarka's place as a significant cultural, religious, and economic center in the ancient world, but also bridges the gap between mythological narratives and historical reality. These archaeological findings offer a tangible framework to understand the evolution of urban settlements in ancient India, shedding light on societal structures, trade practices, and the cultural dynamics of the time. As we piece together clues from the past, Dwarka holds a special place in the tapestry of Hindu mythology and Indian ancient history, not just for its divine origins, but also for the mystery and majesty that encompass its story. At the heart of Dwarka's legend is its foundation by Lord Krishna, a pivotal figure in Hinduism revered across various traditions. The epic tales from the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana tell us of Krishna's quest to protect his people from persistent threats, leading to the establishment of this city. It wasn't just a random choice. Krishna was strategic, opting for a location that offered natural defenses and prosperous living conditions for his subjects. Positioned on the western coast, Dwarka was a fortress against adversaries, thanks to its geographical advantages and access to vital sea routes that facilitated trade and communication. This city wasn't just a safe haven, it was a symbol of divine protection and ingenuity, blending spiritual significance with architectural splendor. The story of Dwarka, with its grand buildings and eventual mysterious submergence, captures the imagination, making it a subject of fascination and reverence. Dwarka, often hailed as the City of Gold in ancient scriptures, embodies not just the literal application of gold in its architecture, but also represents an era of unparalleled wealth, prosperity, and architectural ingenuity. This legendary city, with its palaces shimmering with gold and precious stones, grand public spaces, and formidable fortifications, stands as a testament to the zenith of ancient urban development and prosperity. The city's opulence wasn't confined to its material wealth. It extended to its sophisticated design and layout, which were attributed to Vishwakarma, the divine architect in Hindu mythology. Commissioned by Lord Krishna, Vishwakarma's vision for Dwarka was nothing short of architectural brilliance. The planning of Dwarka was meticulously executed, with distinct zones for residential quarters, marketplaces, temples, and public buildings. This segregation ensured that the city functioned efficiently, with each area serving its purpose without encroaching on another. The residential quarters, designed for comfort and accessibility, were likely constructed with not just security in mind, but also aesthetics, ensuring that the city's inhabitants lived in an environment that was safe, beautiful, and harmonious with nature. But perhaps the most captivating tale of Dwarka is its mysterious submergence.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Legend has it that following Lord Krishna's departure from this world, the city met its end, swallowed by the sea. This story isn't just a pivotal chapter in Hindu mythology, marking the end of an era and the onset of Kali Yuga. It has also piqued the interest of archaeologists and historians. Their underwater explorations near the modern city of Dwarka have unearthed submerged structures, offering a tangible link to the city's legendary past. These discoveries hint at the existence of a significant settlement that might have gradually succumbed to rising sea levels or other catastrophic events, giving some historical backbone to the mythological tales. The submergence of Dwarka is often seen through a symbolic lens, reflecting on the ephemeral nature of wealth and the inevitability of change. It reminds us that even the most splendid creations, no matter how grand or well-built, are not immune to the forces of time and nature. This story, rich with historical intrigue and mythological depth, continues to enchant and provoke thought, bridging the ancient with the present and the mythical with the real. Fellow seekers of the unknown, as we delve into the world of Ortec. Standing for the Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center, this highly secretive US Navy facility is tucked away in the cerulean waters of the Bahamas. Its official mission: to facilitate deep water testing for submarines, sonar systems, and other undersea warfare technologies. Ortek's facilities include an intricate web of underwater cables, sensors, and ranges sprawled across a vast area of the ocean floor. It's a hub of technological advancement and precision, ensuring that the US Navy remains at the cutting edge of undersea warfare capabilities. The array of instruments and devices at Ortek's disposal are calibrated to detect even the minutest disturbances underwater, making it an essential asset for submarine research and development. However, where there is secrecy, curiosity, and speculation inevitably follow. Ortek has found itself at the center of numerous theories and conjectures, some of which are as deep and mysterious as the waters it operates in. There are those who believe that Ortek is the US Navy's gateway to uncharted territories, possibly even serving as a meeting point with extraterrestrial beings. The facility's proximity to the Bermuda Triangle only adds fuel to the speculative fire, with tales of underwater UFOs and alien encounters intertwined with Ortek's narrative. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that Ortek is involved in the study and exploration of underwater ruins, possibly remnants of ancient advanced civilizations. These theories often point to the intricate networks of underwater tunnels and structures that are said to exist in the region, arguing that Ortek's true purpose is to uncover and study these ancient relics. Despite these tantalizing theories, Ortek remains shrouded in secrecy, its activities known only to a select few. The facility operates with a level of discretion and confidentiality befitting its status as a military installation, leaving the rest of us to ponder and speculate about what truly goes on beneath the waves. What secrets does Ortek hold? What mysteries are locked away in its underwater testing ranges? The answers to these questions remain elusive, hidden in the depths of the ocean, waiting for the day when the veil of secrecy is finally lifted, and the true story of Ortek is revealed. As we continue our journey through the hidden and mysterious realms of secret underwater bases, our attention shifts to a place that has captivated the imagination of many, the supposed underwater base off the coast of Malibu, California. This particular location has garnered significant attention, fueled by a mix of intrigue, satellite imagery, and tales of the unexplained. Nestled beneath the waves, approximately 6 miles off the coast of Point Dume, enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists have identified what appears to be a structure resting on the seafloor. The structure, seemingly gargantuan in size, is characterized by what looks like a flat top and large pillars supporting it, almost resembling a submerged building or facility of some sort. The intrigue surrounding the Malibu underwater base is significantly amplified by the clarity and symmetry of the structure, as seen in sonar and satellite imagery. The dimensions of the formation appear to be too precise, too intentional to be a mere quirk of nature. It spans almost 2.5 miles wide, with what appear to be pillars rising 600 feet from the ocean floor. The formation's flat top sits 450 feet below the surface of the water, adding to the mystery and allure. Many have questioned the origins and purpose of this structure. Could it be the remnants of an ancient civilization, long lost to the pages of history? Or is it a secret modern-day facility operating right under our noses? Theories abound, with some suggesting that this underwater base could be a hub for extraterrestrial activity, pointing to numerous UFO sightings in the area and anecdotal reports of strange phenomena. The Malibu underwater base has become a topic of fascination for UFO enthusiasts and researchers alike, drawing attention from around the globe. Investigations and expeditions have been conducted to get to the bottom of this mystery, though concrete answers remain elusive. The US government has largely remained silent on the matter, neither confirming nor denying the existence of an underwater base in the region. This silence only adds to the intrigue and speculation, leaving the true nature of the Malibu underwater base a topic of debate, discussion, and wonder. What lies beneath the waves off the coast of Malibu? Is it a natural formation, a secret government facility, or something far more extraordinary? The answers remain hidden, tucked away in the depths of the ocean, waiting for the day when the secrets of the Malibu underwater base are finally unveiled. Delving into the depths of the Baltic Sea, there lies a mystery that has captured the imagination of people worldwide, an anomaly that some believe to be an underwater base concealed beneath the waves. This particular segment of the ocean, nestled between Northern Europe's picturesque coasts, has become a focal point for enthusiasts, researchers, and conspiracy theorists alike. The Baltic Sea is known for its unique geological features, brackish waters, and the remnants of shipwrecks from centuries past. However, it was in 2011 that the world's attention was truly drawn to this body of water when a Swedish ocean exploration team known as Ocean X stumbled upon a peculiar formation on the seafloor. This structure, characterized by its circular shape and unnatural appearance, immediately sparked speculation and intrigue. Measuring an impressive 200 feet in width, the formation bears semblances to architectural design, with straight lines and angles that seem to defy natural occurrence. The images captured by sonar scans reveal a pattern and symmetry that is uncommon for underwater geological formations. This has led some to boldly speculate that the structure could be the remnants of an ancient civilization, a sunken city that predates any known human settlement. What adds to the mystery is the long, skid-like trail that leads up to the anomaly, suggesting that the structure may have moved or been placed in its current location. This detail has further fueled theories regarding its origin, with some suggesting that it could be a crashed UFO or a secret underwater military installation. However, it's not just the appearance of the structure that has baffled researchers. It's also the anomalous electronic disturbances that have been reported in its vicinity. Devices tend to malfunction when approaching the anomaly, only to resume normal function once at a safe distance. This peculiar phenomenon has only deepened the mystery, with some suggesting that the structure could be emitting an unknown energy or force field. Despite the fervent interest and speculation surrounding the Baltic Sea anomaly, comprehensive studies and expeditions to the site have been limited. The challenging conditions of the Baltic Sea, combined with the depth at which the structure resides, have made it difficult for researchers to conduct thorough investigations. Many questions remain unanswered, and the anomaly continues to be a source of fascination and debate. Is this underwater formation a natural geological structure shaped by the forces of time and nature? Or is it evidence of an ancient civilization that once thrived in the region? Could it possibly be a secret military base hidden away from the prying eyes of the world? The Baltic Sea holds its secrets well, and the underwater base of the Baltic Sea continues to be an enduring mystery, captivating the imagination of all who dare to ponder its origins. Russia, with its vast territories and extensive coastline, has been a subject of fascination and intrigue for many, particularly when it comes to its military capabilities and secretive operations. Amongst the most intriguing aspects are its alleged secret submarine bases, hidden beneath the surface and shrouded in mystery. These bases, said to be remnants of the Cold War era, are rumored to be strategically placed along Russia's extensive coastline, serving as concealed harbors for its submarine fleet. The allure of these bases lies not only in their secretive nature, but also in their purported capability to house and maintain submarines away from prying eyes. One of the most famous of these bases is located on the Kola Peninsula, near the town of Gadjiyevo. This base is said to be home to a significant portion of Russia's northern fleet, housing some of the country's most advanced and formidable submarines. The strategic position of this base allows for quick and stealthy access to the Arctic Ocean, a region of increasing geopolitical importance. The base is carved into the mountains with tunnels leading directly to the Barents Sea, providing submarines with a hidden and protected route in and out of the base. This design not only shields the submarines from harsh weather conditions, but also serves as a deterrent, making it incredibly challenging for adversaries to detect and target the fleet. Rumors and speculations abound regarding the capabilities of these bases, with some suggesting that they are equipped with advanced technology and facilities capable of repairing and maintaining submarines without the need for them to surface. This would provide Russia with a strategic advantage, allowing its submarines to remain undetected for extended periods, ensuring their readiness for any potential conflict. Despite the secrecy surrounding these bases, satellite imagery and investigative journalism have provided glimpses into their existence and operations. The extensive infrastructure, security measures, and strategic positioning of these bases underscore their importance to Russia's military strategy, particularly in the Arctic region. What adds another layer of intrigue to these secret submarine bases is their role in Russia's underwater research and exploration efforts. It is said that these bases also serve as hubs for underwater vehicles and research submarines. exploring the depths of the Arctic Ocean, conducting scientific research and possibly engaging in espionage activities.
For generations, sailors and scholars whispered of a vanished land called Mu. According to legend, Mu was a tropical paradise continent in the Pacific Ocean, home to an advanced mother civilization that flourished in prehistory. Then, in a geologic instant, catastrophe struck. Volcanoes and earthquakes shattered the land, and the entire continent sank beneath the sea, leaving only scattered islands as remnants. It fired the imagination of adventure seekers and mystics who scoured the Pacific for any sign of this drowned world. Skeptics, of course, scoffed. Geologists argued that an entire continent cannot simply sink overnight, not without leaving behind unmistakable traces. And indeed, no scientific evidence of Mu was ever found. But the ocean has a way of guarding its secrets. Amazingly, some mythical lost places have turned out to be real. For over 2,000 years, the Egyptian city of Thonis Heraklion was known only in ancient texts and considered a legend. Yet in the 1990s, a team of underwater archaeologists led by Frank Goddio discovered its ruins buried under the Mediterranean seabed, complete with towering statues and inscriptions. If a fabled city can hide beneath the waves for millennia, might an entire continent be concealed in the depths as well? In a stunning turn, scientists have revealed that Earth does indeed have a lost continent beneath the Pacific. They call it Zealandia, a colossal slab of continental crust about 4.9 million square kilometers in area. To put that in perspective, it's roughly 2/3 the size of Australia, yet 95% of this continent lies underwater. For centuries, Zealandia went unnoticed, disguised as ocean floor with only a few islands, New Zealand, New Caledonia, and some specks of land, poking above the surface. It didn't vanish in a single cataclysm, as Mu supposedly did. Instead, tens of millions of years ago, Zealandia gradually broke away from a supercontinent and sank slowly into the ocean. Geologists only recognized Zealandia's true identity in 2017 after collecting rocks from dredges and mapping the seafloor. It was such a hidden giant that scientists nicknamed it the Hidden Continent. And in 2023, they finally completed mapping its once secret expanse. What was once a speculative tale of a sunken land became an awe-inspiring reality, an entire continent drowned and out of sight, right where Pacific legends placed a lost world. But not all lost lands belong to such distant ages. Astonishingly, some vanished worlds lay within the memory of our species, swallowed by the sea only a few thousand years ago. During the last ice age, global sea levels were dramatically lower than today. Where there was once dry land, there is now open ocean. Early humans could walk across areas that are now seabeds. When the ice caps melted and the oceans rose, those territories flooded, an ancient catastrophe that might well spawn legends of sunken realms. Consider Sunderland, the vast Sunder Shelf of Southeast Asia. Just 20,000 years ago, Sunderland was a sprawling extension of the Asian continent, connecting modern-day Indonesia, Borneo, and Malaysia in a continuous landmass. Rivers coursed through broad plains and fertile valleys there, supporting rich wildlife and human hunters. In fact, in a remarkable discovery published in 2025, archaeologists recovered 140,000-year-old bones of a Homo erectus from a seabed between Java and Borneo. These fossilized remains, dredged up alongside thousands of animal bones, confirm that an ancient human population once thrived on a landscape that is now beneath the sea. Scientists call this drowned Ice Age continent Sunderland, and the newfound bones show our ancestors literally hunted on lands that today are part of the ocean floor. It's a striking, real-world parallel to the idea of Mu's people dispersed by flood. Except in this case, we have bones and tools as testimony. So, was there a lost continent of Mu? Science tells us that the specific tale of Mu as a Pacific paradise that sank in one night is almost certainly fiction. No trace of a sudden whole continent collapse has ever been found. Yet, the spirit of Mu's legend, the idea that entire worlds have been swallowed by the sea, rings true in light of modern discoveries. But our exploration doesn't end here. In fact, our next journey takes us from the depths of the ocean to the heights of the mountains. We've seen how a lost continent myth found echoes in reality. Now we'll turn to a legendary lost city high in the Andes. For centuries, tales spoke of an Inca city of gold, a secret metropolis tucked away in the clouds, dismissed by many as pure myth. Yet, intrepid archaeologists are now uncovering tantalizing clues that this fabled city might have been real after all. Join us in our next episode as we trek into the misty peaks and dense jungles in search of the lost Inca city of gold, a discovery so astonishing they once said it could never be found.
Dwarka is more than just a name. It's a word that translates to the gateway to heaven. According to Hindu mythology, this majestic city was established by none other than Lord Krishna, a deity worshipped as the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu. Now, who is Krishna, you might ask? Krishna, a central figure in Hinduism, is widely revered for his wisdom, his strategic prowess, his supernatural feats, and his role as a charioteer, advisor, and friend to Prince Arjuna in the epic Mahabharata. In this ancient text, Krishna flees to the western coast of India after a catastrophic war. Here he establishes the city of Dwarka, a city so opulent and grand that it's often described as a city made of gold. But as stories go, this magnificent city meets a tragic end. After Krishna's death, a series of calamities strike. Submerged by the sea in a matter of days, the city disappears, taking all its architectural grandeur and wealth along with it. The tale of Dwarka is fascinating in its own right, but here's where it gets even more interesting. This myth aligns with a geological phenomenon known as sea level rise, which could result in the submergence of coastal settlements. So this begs the question, is Dwarka just a symbolic tale, or could it be an actual historical event dressed in myth and legend? The archaeology unit of the National Institute of Oceanography is making headlines. The team is embarking on an underwater archaeological expedition to see what lies beneath the sea at Dwarka, on the western coast of India. Led by archaeologists S.R. Rao and S. Gaur, the team discovers something that shakes up the world of archaeology. Structural remains and artifacts suggesting the existence of an ancient city. The expedition reveals well-planned stone structures, pottery shards, semi-precious stones, and inscriptions, some of which date back to the Harappan civilization around 2000 BCE. The discoveries don't stop there. Subsequent underwater explorations reveal an extensive network of stone structures, extending over half a mile, which appears to have been built on the bank of an ancient river, the Gomati. The stone structures, ceramics, and inscriptions lend credibility to the existence of a bustling urban center in antiquity. It's an intriguing find, right? But there's a twist. The artifacts and structures found underwater not only suggest the existence of an ancient city, but also hint at a city that may have been submerged by rising sea levels, aligning strikingly with the legend of Dwarka. Could it be that the legend of Dwarka was not merely a legend, but a page out of our own historical past preserved in mythology? So we have established that there's something under the sea at Dwarka, but what exactly did the explorers find? Well, the discoveries at Dwarka were nothing short of astonishing. Firstly, pottery shards were found in abundance. These pieces of ancient ceramics were from a variety of different eras, some of them dating back to the late Harappan period. The variety in pottery styles suggests that Dwarka was inhabited over an extensive period of time, housing several generations of people. Then there were the semi-precious stones. These materials, often used for making jewelry, speak volumes about the economic prosperity of the city. The presence of such materials suggests that Dwarka was a trade center, exchanging goods with different parts of the ancient world. Next, there were the inscriptions. The most important of these was a seal that bore the image of a three-headed animal. The symbolism behind this creature remains a mystery, but the very fact that the inhabitants of Dwarka had a complex system of symbols suggests a sophisticated society. And then, of course, there were the architectural remains. Stone structures of various shapes and sizes were found, giving archaeologists a glimpse into the layout of the city. Among these structures, a series of circular fort-like constructions, believed to be part of the city's defense system, were particularly remarkable. Taken together, these discoveries form a remarkable narrative of an ancient city that was, in its time, a hub of civilization and commerce. And this narrative, much to our astonishment, aligns remarkably well with the mythical city of Dwarka described in the Mahabharata. In a world where we want hard facts, the science of radiocarbon dating can act as our time machine, providing an objective lens through which to view the past. And it was this scientific tool that was used to try and pinpoint the age of the submerged city of Dwarka. Radiocarbon dating works by estimating the age of organic materials, which include ancient artifacts and biological specimens. It's based on the principle that all living things contain carbon, some of which is radioactive C14. When a creature or plant dies, it stops absorbing this radioactive carbon, but the C14 it already contains continues to decay. By measuring the remaining quantity of C14, scientists can estimate how long ago the organism died, or in our case, when the artifacts were last used or made. Applying this technique, pieces of wood from Dwarka were sent to laboratories where they were analyzed for radiocarbon content. The results: the wood samples were found to date back to around 7,500 years ago, vastly predating the expected timeline of Mahabharata, according to most historians. This significant revelation opened up a Pandora's box of questions. Could the submerged city really be the mythical Dwarka? If so, does it mean that our timeline of the Mahabharata is off? Or does it suggest that the city was inhabited long before Krishna supposedly ruled there, and the epic merely borrowed the location's rich history? The radiocarbon dating results were a fascinating discovery, adding a new layer of complexity to the mystery of Dwarka. It reminds us that the lines between history, archaeology, and mythology can blur, leaving us to ponder on the intersection of fact and fiction. How does radiocarbon dating work? Let's step back from the Dwarka and elaborate a little more on this interesting way to measure age. Alright, so imagine you're watching a video on YouTube. When the video starts, it's fully loaded, right? Now let's say you pause the video and go grab a snack. When you come back, you notice that the video has unloaded a bit. It's been buffering and you can't play it right away. That's a bit like how radiocarbon dating works. But instead of a video, we're talking about a kind of stuff called carbon-14. You see, everything that was once alive, like a tree, a dinosaur, or a woolly mammoth, absorbed a type of carbon called carbon-14 when they were living. Once they die, they stop taking in new carbon-14. But here's the cool part. Carbon-14 is a little bit like a slowly buffering YouTube video. Over time, it changes or decays into another kind of stuff called nitrogen-14. Scientists call the time it takes for half of the carbon-14 to change into nitrogen-14 its half-life. Kind of like if half your video had to buffer before you could watch it. For carbon-14, this half-life is about 5,730 years. Now let's say we find a really old piece of wood and we want to know when the tree it came from stopped living. We can't ask the tree, obviously, but we can use a special tool to measure how much carbon-14 is still in the wood compared to how much carbon-12, a type of carbon that doesn't change over time, is in it. If there's a lot of carbon-14 left, the tree probably hasn't been dead very long, but if there's only a little carbon-14 left, that means the tree has been dead for a very long time, and that's pretty much how radiocarbon dating works. Scientists use this method to tell how old things are that used to be alive, from ancient wooden tools to prehistoric animal bones. It's like a time machine that helps us uncover the secrets of the past. The discussion surrounding the ancient city of Dwarka isn't without its skeptics. These are the people who question the conclusions that have been drawn from the archaeological evidence, and their doubts are an important part of the scientific process. One of the main areas of skepticism revolves around the age of the underwater city. Critics point out that while certain samples tested using radiocarbon dating suggest an older date, this doesn't necessarily confirm that the city itself is of the same age. In other words, older organic material could have been incorporated into a younger settlement. Skeptics also point to the complexity and size of the structures that have been found underwater. They argue that these structures are far more sophisticated than what is typically associated with other sites from the same period. Some even suggest that the underwater ruins could be the remnants of a much more recent settlement, potentially even dating to medieval times. Then there's the question of the city's connection to the ancient epic, the Mahabharata. Skeptics argue that just because a city is found where the mythical Dwarka is said to have been, doesn't mean it's the same city. After all, there could have been multiple settlements in the area over the thousands of years of human history. Finally, skeptics argue that more research needs to be done. The underwater site is extensive, and only a small portion has been thoroughly investigated. Until more of the city is explored and more artifacts are found and tested, skeptics caution against drawing firm conclusions about the site's age and cultural significance. But where does that leave us? A submerged city, radiocarbon dates that point to immense antiquity, and a saga that may or may not be the echoes of a distant past. The quest for understanding Dwarka is a testament to the human spirit's insatiable curiosity, bridging the gap between myth and science. So the next time you gaze at the vast expanse of the ocean, remember that beneath its surface may lie stories waiting to be discovered. Scientists have recently discovered an underwater tribe that still exists today, captivating the world with their remarkable survival skills and deep connection to the sea. The Moken, Haida, Sami, and Chumash are indigenous groups known for their sophisticated fishing and underwater hunting abilities. Their fascinating lifestyles reveal a wealth of knowledge about living and ancient traditions that continue to thrive against the odds. The Moken, often referred to as sea gypsies, are a nomadic seafaring people living in the Mergui archipelago, along the coasts of Myanmar and Thailand. Their lifestyle is intricately tied to the sea, where they spend most of their lives on traditional wooden boats called kabang. Moken divers are renowned for their exceptional free-diving skills. They can hold their breath for extended periods and dive to significant depths without the use of modern diving equipment. The Moken live on their kabang boats, which serve as their homes, and only come ashore during the monsoon season or to trade with coastal communities. Their extensive knowledge of marine life and underwater environments is impressive. They use this knowledge to hunt fish, collect sea cucumbers, and gather shellfish. Interestingly, studies have shown that Moken children have superior underwater vision compared to their land-dwelling counterparts. They can see clearly underwater, which significantly aids in their hunting and gathering activities. The Moken's movements are dictated by the seasons and the monsoon cycle, traveling vast distances along the coastlines in search of food and shelter. The Bajau, often known as sea nomads or sea gypsies, are indigenous to the maritime regions of the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. They are renowned for their exceptional free-diving abilities and their nomadic sea-based lifestyle. Bajau divers can hold their breath for several minutes and dive to depths of over 70 meters without diving equipment. Their spleens are larger than average, allowing them to store more oxygen-rich blood. The Bajau live on lepas or lepa-lepa boats, crafted from local timber. These boats are not only their homes, but also their primary mode of transportation. Using spears and traditional harpoons, Bajau divers hunt fish, octopuses, and other marine life, with techniques honed over generations. In addition to hunting, the Bajau forage for edible marine plants, sea cucumbers, and shellfish, contributing to their diverse diet. Ama divers are traditional Japanese female divers known for their expertise in freediving. The practice of Ama diving dates back over 2,000 years and is predominantly found in the coastal regions of Japan. Traditionally, Ama divers are women, some of whom continue diving well into their 70s and 80s. Their endurance and skill are celebrated aspects of Japanese culture. Historically, Ama divers were known for harvesting pearls, a practice that gained international fame in the early 20th century. They use minimal equipment, typically wearing only a loincloth or light clothing. Diving without air tanks, they rely on their breath-holding abilities to gather shellfish, seaweed, and other marine resources. These divers often work in close-knit communities, sharing their catches and supporting each other, fostering strong bonds and communal cooperation. While traditional AMA diving practices continue, many modern AMA divers use wetsuits and other protective gear to extend their diving careers. Both the Bajau and Ama divers showcase remarkable breath-holding and free-diving abilities. However, while the Bajao's lifestyle revolves around their nomadic sea existence, living on boats and continuously moving, the Ama divers have a more stationary lifestyle rooted in specific coastal communities in Japan. The Bajao's exceptional diving skills are essential for their day-to-day survival and are integrated into their nomadic culture. In contrast, the Ama divers' practices are steeped in centuries-old traditions, often passed down through generations within the same locality. The Haida are an indigenous people native to the Pacific Northwest coast of North America, primarily residing in the Haida-Gwaii archipelago in British Columbia, Canada, and parts of southern Alaska. They are renowned for their sophisticated fishing and underwater hunting practices, which play a crucial role in their culture and sustenance. The Haida are expert fishers, primarily focusing on salmon, halibut, and herring. They utilize a variety of traditional techniques, including fishing weirs, traps, and hook-and-line fishing. For underwater hunting, the Haida traditionally used spears and harpoons to catch fish and marine mammals. They are skilled in diving to gather shellfish such as clams, mussels, and abalone. One of the standout features of Haida culture is their beautifully crafted canoes made from red cedar. These canoes are designed for both sea and river travel, enabling efficient fishing and hunting expeditions. The Haida are also well known for their totem poles, which often depict animals and mythological beings. These poles represent stories, clan lineages, and historical events, highlighting the deep connection between the Haida people and their natural environment. The Haida have a rich oral tradition, with stories and songs that celebrate their relationship with the sea and its resources. Potlatches, elaborate feasts that involve the redistribution of wealth, are central to their social structure, and often feature seafood as a primary component. Historically, the Haida have practiced sustainable fishing and hunting methods, ensuring the long-term availability of marine resources. This includes seasonal fishing and the use of fish traps that allow younger fish to escape and grow. The Sami are indigenous people of the Arctic regions of northern Scandinavia, spanning Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. Known for their rich cultural heritage and connection to the Arctic environment, the Sami have traditionally engaged in fishing and underwater hunting in the cold waters of their region. The Sami are skilled fishers relying heavily on freshwater and coastal fishing for sustenance. They catch various species, including salmon, trout, and Arctic char, using nets, hooks, and traditional traps. In addition to fishing, the Sami have historically hunted marine mammals such as seals. While primarily known for reindeer herding, which is central to their culture and economy, the Sami also integrate fishing and hunting practices into their subsistence lifestyle. The Sami possess extensive traditional knowledge of their natural environment, including the behavior of fish and marine mammals. This knowledge is passed down through generations and is crucial for their survival in the harsh Arctic conditions. Sami craftsmanship, known as duodji, includes making tools and equipment for fishing and hunting. This includes making fishing nets and spears from natural materials. The Chumash are a Native American tribe indigenous to the coastal regions of California. They have a rich maritime culture and are skilled in various forms of underwater hunting and fishing, which are integral to their way of life. The Chumash utilized plank canoes known as tomols to fish in the ocean. These canoes were expertly crafted from redwood or driftwood and allowed them to travel between the mainland and the Channel Islands. The Chumash hunted a variety of marine life, including fish, abalone, and shellfish. They used spears, nets, and traps to capture their prey. Abalone was particularly significant to the Chumash, both as a food source and for its shells, which were used to make tools, ornaments, and trade items. Chumash villages were often located near water sources, and their economy was heavily based on the abundant marine resources. They practiced complex social organization and trade networks, with dried fish and other seafood being important trade goods. The Chumash are known for their rock art, which often depicts marine life and hunting scenes. These artworks provide insight into their deep connection with the sea. The Chumash practiced sustainable harvesting techniques, including seasonal fishing and rotating fishing areas to prevent overexploitation of resources.
For centuries, the lost city of Herakleion, or Thonis as it was known to the ancient Egyptians, was thought to be nothing more than a legend, hidden beneath the waves near the mouth of the Nile River, off the modern-day coast of Alexandria, Egypt. It was a city whispered about in a few rare inscriptions and ancient texts, until its discovery in the early 2000s.
You have to be careful when you look at underwater structures. You have to look at all the conditions that have led to their submergence.
Underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio and his team unveiled this submerged city, transforming it from myth to reality in a groundbreaking moment for archaeology. Herakleion was not just any city, it was a vital gateway to Egypt, a primary port for Greek trade before Alexandria took prominence. This bustling hub was alive with commerce, culture, and religion, serving as a significant center for the worship of the god Amun-Gareb.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Among its most revered ceremonies was the annual Mysteries of Osiris, celebrating the resurrection of Osiris.
But over here we have the god Osiris from Egypt, remembered by the ancient Egyptians as a bringer of the gifts of civilization, not only in Egypt, but in many other lands as well.
The artifacts and inscriptions recovered from beneath the waters tell tales of this grand city. Located about 6.5 kilometers off the coast, submerged under 30 to 45 feet of water, the ruins of Herakleion have yielded an astonishing array of artifacts. Giant statues towering over 5 meters high, beautifully carved and remarkably preserved in the silty seabed, depict Egyptian gods and goddesses alongside pharaohs and Greek rulers, a testament to the cultural melting pot that was Herakleion.
They came to Egypt and established religion by building primeval mounds up and down the Nile Valley.
Alongside these, gold coins and bronze and stone weights unearthed from the site offer glimpses into the trade networks and economic systems that underpinned the city's prosperity. Adding to the intrigue, archaeologists found dozens of small limestone sarcophagi, likely used for mummified animals brought as offerings, and the remains of over 64 ancient shipwrecks. These discoveries weave a narrative of a city where commerce and devotion to the gods were deeply entwined, a place of profound spiritual significance. Drawing parallels between Herakleion and the ancient city of Pompeii in Italy presents an interesting perspective on how natural disasters can both destroy and preserve. While Pompeii was buried in volcanic ash, Herakleion succumbed to rising waters and earthquakes. Yet both cities lay forgotten for centuries, their rediscoveries providing snapshots of ancient life. Pompeii offers a view of Roman life captured in ash, whereas Herakleion's story is told through artifacts preserved under the sea, offering unique insights into ancient Egyptian civilization. The ongoing exploration of Herakleion challenges our understanding of ancient history, shedding light on the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations. The city's artifacts and structures, now emerging from the depths, serve as a potent reminder of the fleeting nature of human achievements and the intricate tapestry of human history. Now moving on to another discovery. The submerged ruins of Cleopatra's palace offer a fascinating window into the past. This palace, once a bustling centre of political and cultural activity, was home to Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, known for her intelligence, political acumen, and captivating presence. The discovery of its ruins has thrilled historians and archaeologists, providing unprecedented insights into Cleopatra's era, a time marked by immense political power, cultural achievements, and architectural splendour. The underwater excavations at this site have been nothing short of a treasure trove, unearthing a wealth of artifacts that tell the story of life in ancient Alexandria. Among the haul are magnificent statues that might have once graced the palace and its surroundings, depicting Egyptian gods, Ptolemaic rulers, and possibly Cleopatra herself. These finds offer clues to the artistic and religious milieu of the period. The submerged structures, thought to include the palace's living quarters and ceremonial areas, and possibly even the fabled Pharos lighthouse, give us a glimpse into the architectural and urban planning styles of the time. Moreover, everyday items such as pottery, glassware, coins, and personal ornaments have been found, painting a vivid picture of both the domestic life within the palace and the bustling economic life of Alexandria. Cleopatra's Alexandria was a cosmopolitan beacon of trade, culture, and learning, hosting the Great Library and attracting scholars from across the ancient world. Cleopatra's reign represented the peak of Alexandria's development as a hub of Hellenistic culture, merging Egyptian traditions with those of Greece and Rome. The underwater discovery of the palace highlights Alexandria's significance in the ancient Mediterranean world. Drawing parallels with the sunken Roman city of Baiae in the Bay of Naples, both Cleopatra's palace and Baiae were epitomes of luxury and political clout of their times, reflecting the architectural tastes and wealth of their civilizations. While Baiae reveals much about Roman elite leisure and architectural innovation, the underwater ruins of Cleopatra's palace open a portal to the end of the Egyptian pharaoh's era, and the attempts by the Ptolemaic dynasty to synthesize Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. The exploration of Cleopatra's palace continues to enrich our understanding of ancient Alexandria's pivotal role in the Mediterranean. It also offers a deeper look into the life and times of one of history's most enigmatic figures, Cleopatra VII, and the lavish lifestyle she led. The ruins serve as a poignant reminder of Alexandria's former glory and the fleeting nature of human achievements, standing as a testament to the transformative power of nature over history. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, the port of Alexandria quickly ascended to become one of the ancient world's most crucial trade hubs, buzzing with the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Its prime location on the Mediterranean coast of Egypt established it as a pivotal connector of trade routes from Europe, Asia, and Africa, transforming it into a melting pot of global significance. The strategic and economic importance of the port was unparalleled, primarily serving as the vital conduit for Egypt's grain shipments to Rome, which was essential for the empire's stability. Among the marvels that made Alexandria famous was the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Positioned on the island of Pharos, this engineering masterpiece not only guided ships safely into the harbour with its formidable light, but also symbolised the city's affluence and ingenuity. Although not directly linked to the port, the Great Library of Alexandria was another testament to the city's intellectual and cultural richness, drawing scholars and thinkers from across the globe. The royal quarters and palaces of Alexandria, including the Museion, home to the famed library, reflected the city's role as a beacon of Hellenistic culture and power. Meanwhile, underwater archaeology in the port area has unveiled a trove of artifacts, from ancient shipwrecks to everyday items, shedding light on the maritime practices of the time and the diversity of goods that flowed through Alexandria. The port was a linchpin in the ancient economy, bustling with the trade of grain, papyrus, glass, and precious metals, among other commodities. Its docks and warehouses were a hive of activity, indicative of a well-organized network that made Alexandria a cultural and economic bridge between various civilizations. The discovery of diverse ship remains and goods in Alexandria highlights its wider reach in the ancient trade world. The legacy of the port of Alexandria is monumental, influencing maritime trade, architecture, and culture well beyond its heyday. Ongoing archaeological work in the port area continues to enrich our understanding of the interactions, economies, and daily life of ancient civilizations. Its history serves as a powerful reminder of humanity's interconnectedness through time.